Hello everyone. So today starting with a new topic that is novelty. So here we are considering this topic. Why? Because this is one of the requirement for the patent drafting and specification writing. So let me tell you, after inventive step, this has become one of the important reason for understanding the concept. So now understanding novelty. Let me tell you, here we are talking about introductory part. Here we are talking about the introduction. Here we are talking about novelty, requirement of novelty under patent law. We are talking about the need for the novelty under patent law in India. Then we would be focusing on the importance of the patent law. Then we would be focusing on the implementation issues in the law. And then we will also be talking about the patent law amendments. We will also be talking about various conclusions. We would also be talking about how this concept of novelty came into existence and why is it so important. Now moving forward with this, to know the importance of the patent law, to know what all things are included in it, to know where the patent law is applicable, to know its jurisdiction, to know the patent law applicability in India, to know the implementation issues. These are the objectives, very objectives of considering this concept of novelty here. So here, moving forward with various other things, moving forward with various other slides, let me tell you here these all things becomes very important. Now here talking about other things, let's move forward with the introductory part. So when you're talking about inventions, so here when you talk about new inventions means any invention or technology that has not been anticipated by the publication of any document, or you can say to identify all the relevant pieces of the prior art for the invention in question. Then talking about the second step is to assess whether the invention has been anticipated by any of these pieces of prior art. So this inquiry for the novelty involves two steps. First, knowing that that particular document has not been anticipated in any country elsewhere in the world before the date of filing of the patent application, with complete specifications, subject matters as taken for in the public domain, or it does not form a part of the state art. And that the state of the art is also referred to as a prior art. The inquiry for the novelty involves two particular steps. The first being the step is to identify all the relevant pieces of the prior art for the invention in the question, and then talking about the second step to assess whether the invention has been anticipated by these pieces of prior art or not. Moving far forward, we have been using the word prior art again and again. So I'll tell you the meaning of the prior art here. In order to know the prior art, the prior disclosure or the use must have been made available in public. Anything that is available in public is known as prior art. So when you talk about the conditions that is satisfied, even if the disclosure had been made available only to a single member in the public, it would be considered as the prior art. Now moving forward with the priority date for the invention is thus very important to pool for the prior art, and that is used to access the novelty of the invention in frozen or on the priority date. So here there are two things, priority art and priority thing. So earlier the priority date, the smaller the pool of the priority art and the greater the chance of invention being new. So we all know section 2 L prior art is anything that have been published in any document or used in any country or elsewhere in the world before the date of filing of the patent application with complete specifications. So with this dated back to the priority date if applicable. So to qualify as the relevant prior art, the prior disclosure or the use must have been made available to the public. So this condition is satisfied even if the disclosure had been made available only to a single member of the public. Further, it is relevant whether anyone knew that it is available or had inspected it. So a book describing the invention must amongst the shelf for public library but never taken down by anyone for read or public place of that prior art. It would also be considered as the prior art. For this, the anticipation is said to be the very strict. So I hope now the concept of prior art, the priority date of the invention is very important. The pool of prior art that is used to assess the novelty of that particular invention is clear now. Moving forward, when you're talking about anything, when you're talking about exceptions, when you're talking about the disclosure of any information is made in the industrial or in the exhibition form, which has been already recognized by the government, such disclosure does not amount to the creation of the prior art. I'll tell you that the documents which are confidential in nature and were available only to the members of the particular association and the disclosure of such invention to the third party in confidence during those negotiations to a commercially exploit an invention were not considered to be the prior art. So wherever you're talking about the disclosure made by the person in confidence, that is, this person is bound by the obligation not to use the disclose the information given to him, the disclosure to that person does not amount to making the information available in the person. So when you read section 29 of that particular act of the Indian Patent Act of 1970, you will come to know there are various exceptions available to this. There are various types of things available to this. So the disclosure of such invention is made in an industrial or in any other exhibition, whether recognized by the government or not. It does not matter. It does not concern. Such disclosure does not amount to. There is something known as anticipation. Now here you're talking about anticipation. Why? Because when you try to consider your invention as anticipation, here you are trying to know that what all things are already anticipated in the world. What are things are what are the characteristics he comes from the industry, or that particular things are anticipated in the previously assessed inventions or not. So here the principle usually applied in the assessment are discussed now. First, the assessment is made through the eyes of the person having an ordinary skill in the art. That means the characteristics of these persons are he must from the industry or from the field of technology relevant to that particular invention. You must know here I'm talking, you must understand that here I'm talking about all those things. I'm talking about those person who's anticipating the thing, but he should have the knowledge about the field of technology relevant to that invention in question. There cannot be a condition that you're asking some person who has no knowledge about that particular thing. Now he must possess the common general knowledge of that particular subject matter in question. Now he has the practical interest in the subject matter of that particular patent. He is reasonably intelligent but unimaginative. So these are the characteristics of a person who is basically judging an anticipation. I have discussed this in the slide itself. Now when you're talking about the anticipation, you must know that after determining that a prior disclosure or the use that qualifies as prior art or the vis-a-vis your invention in question, the second step in the inquiry for the novelty is to assess whether the invention has been anticipated by any of these prior art or not. So these principles usually applied in the assessment as discussed just now. So the assessment is made through the eyes of the person having the person ordinary skill in the art. So the characteristics of this person have already discussed that he must have the he must belong to the industry or the field of technology from where the invention is in question. Second, he must have the general knowledge. He must have the knowledge about the subject matter in question. Then he has the practical interest in the subject matter of the patent, and then he must be reasonably intelligent as well. Here I'm not talking about being imaginative, here I'm talking about being intelligent. Now moving forward. Moving forward with this, here I would like to discuss various things that our invention must be compared against each individual piece of prior art, and the question is repeated each time as this particular piece of prior art is available in the public domain or not, is anticipated the invention or not. So in order to know the invention must be compared against each individual piece of prior art, and the question is repeated each time again and again. So the invention must be compared against each and everything available before that particular invention in the same field of that technology or in the same area of that technology. So here the comparison of these two things, the invention, the claim, the patent application, the drafting application, everything would be compared with the anything that is available beforehand, is available, that has been anticipated beforehand. So in order to know that, we would be discussing each and every point here. Secondly, here there is something rule known as rule of Mosaic. This rule is basically is the different pieces in this rule. The different pieces of prior art in the assessment of the novelty is considered. So under this rule, it is not permissible to assemble all the pieces of prior art together into the mosaic and then to compare the invention against this mosaic. So basically, here you are trying to compare your thing with all the previously available thing. Then you're talking about the general test of the anticipation. We are here reading anticipation under novelty so that you will come to know that your product is novel or not. So by comparing against each individual piece of art that is available, you will get an idea that your product, your thing, your claim is novel or not. So the thirdly, here I'm talking about the general test that is used to assess the anticipation, is to ask, would it inevitably lead to invention or not? The question here, if the follow the teaching disclosed the piece of art, it would be inevitably lead to the invention the prior art has anticipated in the invention. So in order to know that whether that particular thing is novel or not, you will be following these particular art. Hence, the invention is not novel because when you try to compare, you will find some certain similar points available there in your particular slide, in your particular claim, in your particular draft. So here, these are the rules to know what is there in the novelty. Moving forward with this. Now, there are various types of tests as I told you. So here we would be discussing certain other things that are available here. So before comparing your product, there are some important guidelines, there are some important rules in the assessment of anticipation. So an enabling disclosure is the requirement in the patent law that obliges the inventor to describe in the specifications of the patent. So the requirement of the invention in a manner that is cleared and the complete for the invention is to made by the skilled addressee. Now here I would like to add certain points that while assessing the anticipation, the person, the claim, the patentee, the person who is drafting the application must guard against the ex post facto analysis of the invention that invokes the knowledge coming into existence after that relevant piece of art. So this is clear. I hope it has been argued that inventions that are anticipated by the piece of prior art, if the disclosure in his prior art is known as enabling disclosures. Now to understand this concept, let me give you the test. There are variations of this test. One variation is that to ask whether the prior art contains the clear and unmistakable directions to that particular invention, and then after that talking about the signpost to that inventions. The former point to that non-novel inventions, whereas the later point to a novel inventions. So this has also been argued that invention is anticipated by the piece of art if the disclosure in this prior art is an enabling disclosure. And this is an important guideline in the assessment for the anticipations, and this enabling disclosure that I am been discussing again and again here is a requirement in the patent law that obliges the inventor to describe in the specifications of the patent the invention in a manner that is clear and complete for the invention to be made to the skilled addressee. Now here what you're doing is you are comparing your work with the previously available work. So you have been giving certain things, you have been given certain tests, maybe clear or unmistakable directions, where you are trying to know each and everything that is available in your area. Let's suppose you're talking about certain combining two products in drugs or combining two physical products to make a bicycle. We have used this example in the previous lectures also and in the previous slides also by looking at that video where she's trying to make a GPS. So here you are basically comparing your work with all the available work in the market, in the public domain, in order to get your application accepted by the examiner. Fourthly, because we have already discussed the three tests, while assessing this anticipation, one must guard against the ex post facto analysis of the inventions that invokes the knowledge coming into the existence after the relevant piece of art. Now, I hope the concept of novelty is very much clear in your mind, and if there is no doubt, if there is any doubt in the concept of novelty, two things would be there. The first one is known as prior art, also that would be relating it to the priority date. So if your priority date is much nearer, you will be getting less number of arts available, so the pool of art would be there. And then when you're talking about the anticipation, anything that is there that can be anticipated would not be considered as novel. So moving forward with this, these are the references from where I have collected the material. These are the links, these are the textbooks, these are the reference books from where I have read down the material. You can also refer to the various books available online, various articles available online over SCC Online or over the Spicy IP, which is a very good website for knowing the novelty test. So here I would like to suggest you all to go to the inventive step and novelty through the Spicy IP, which will clear all your doubts. And these are the very good books on the IPR, which specifically related to patent. There are various videos available through the for the patent, and you can always refer to those books and those things. So thank you for listening, and thank you for today.